Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. When it comes to XRP, I've made my position pretty gosh darn clear, haven't I? And XRP payday is coming. Of course, acquiring any sort of notable wealth in crypto requires a number of things, not the least of which is conviction. And there are all sorts of other important things to talk about, which I've been talking about for years on this channel, including the ability to control one's emotions and just think for the long term. And so for me, a key piece for me is I happen to genuinely have strong conviction. And so when it comes to the question of whether or not XRP is going to hit its all-time high at some point in the future in enterprise discovery, for me, I believe the answer is yes. And look, I want to be clear. I don't have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. But I want to talk a little bit in this video about why I think the way that I think. And also, I'd like to note that all of the analysts that I respect and follow, even when they tend to disagree, at least to some degree, with one another, and as far as is there a lengthening crypto cycle, is Bitcoin going to go to 80,000, 100,000, 150,000, 250,000 this market cycle? So all sorts of different opinions, but what I have noticed about these analysts that I respect and follow that have been in the space for some time, and mind you, they've all pretty well found some level of success in this, right? I find that they have conviction too. And not all of them are into XRP. Many of them are, but not all of them. And I just keep finding this recurring theme of being able to control one's emotion, having thinks for a sufficiently long period of time, and then just have conviction. Like, if you believe something, then act on it. Now, at the time of recording this, XRP is at 82 cents. Bitcoin's at $50,397. Market cap for the asset class, $2.4 trillion. And Bitcoin dominance at 39.64%. And Bitcoin, it ran up a bit today and bumping up against a resistance level, it appears, right? Just knocking on 52,000's door. You can see if you're looking on the screen right here. This is Bitcoin price action on Live Coin Watch. 24-hour high, $51,912. And the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, not looking so hot, but better than yesterday. Yesterday, the typical retail speculator, lovable, cuddly little lemmings out there, they're experiencing extreme fear at 25 out of 100. Today, a little better at 28 out of 100. Not surprising, though, given the upwards price action. And XRP even hit as high as 85 cents within the last 24 hours. So, not bad. The market clearly moving in tandem, which is a thing that it does. Now, I want to highlight this tweet right here before going any further. This is from an individual named Lark Davis, who has a massive following, 740,000 followers on Twitter. He has a YouTube channel, 472,000 subscribers, and so props to him for building that, not taking anything away from him. And also, nothing against him personally, to be super duper clear. This is not a personal thing, but he tweeted out something that's on your screen right now. I'll read it in just a second here. And I could not disagree more, so I'm going to challenge his ideas. I think that what he put out here, it's a bad idea, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion, so that's fine. Somebody having a different perspective than me on anything in life, that doesn't make me not like them. I'm okay with people that don't believe the same things as me. I think he's wrong, and I got a few things to say about it, so I'm just challenging his idea, not him. And that's how I approach life, whether it's politics, religion, any of the big stuff that would set people off in crypto is apparently up there. That's just the way that I approach this stuff. And so here's what he tweeted out just a little less than 2 hours ago, actually. He wrote, XRP is probably the most disappointing coin in the top 10. Hasn't even come close to previous highs, and, in my opinion, does not belong in the top 10 coins anymore. Do you agree? Oh, let's unpack this a little bit here. It's fascinating that you could say this. XRP doesn't belong in the top 10 cryptos anymore. And it's, number 8? I think it's number 8. Let me double check. Yeah, it's number 8. In terms of market cap at the time that I'm recording this, doesn't belong anywhere in the top 10, which is fascinating because XRP is one of the only cryptocurrencies that's actually used for anything. It's actually used in enterprise-grade software. How many cryptocurrencies are used in commercial-grade software anywhere? Is it like one? There's not many. There's certainly not many doing anything, right? And so, like, that alone, to me, and that's not the only use case, obviously. I was thinking about, of course, its use case as a bridge currency, how Ripple's positioning it. But obviously, the other use cases, there's like I cited just the other day, Coil, what they're doing, utilizing XRP, a blend of Interledger Protocol and XRP for a new form of web monetization, and that. There's a number of use cases here. But the fact that it's functionally useful and has been adopted as one of the most liquid cryptocurrencies on the planet, that isn't enough for it to be reasonable to think it should be in the top 10? Okay. Another question, is it that you think it shouldn't be in the top 10 because it hasn't pumped as much as the other coins that are in the top 10? Well, because that'd be an interesting concept. I don't know if that's what he's thinking. That sounds kind of weird, though, don't you think? Let me ask you this. Would it have been better to purchase Bitcoin recently at its all-time high of $68,000, or would it have been better to purchase it before it started running, way back in the middle of December of 2018 when it got down to about 3,200? Would it have been better to have purchased it before it pumped or after it pumped? Would he actually make the case that because XRP has underperformed relative to other top 10 cryptocurrencies that it's not as good an opportunity? Because I don't believe that for a moment. If that's a message he'd be willing to communicate to his audience, I'd push back against that. The cryptocurrencies that have already pumped, I'm not interested in. The ones that haven't tremendously pumped, I am interested in. So that would be exactly backwards. And let me ask you this too. Does the market move in tandem? Now, anybody in the world of crypto worth their salt, they'll say the answer is yes. The answer is yes. The market moves in tandem. So follow-up question. Is XRP part of the market? Answer obviously is yes. So if both of those things are true and XRP has not yet pumped, where's the freaking opportunity? The opportunity is, this is my personal opinion, again, not telling you to buy or sell or hold. As far as I'm concerned, the answer is, out of the top 10 cryptos, XRP has the most upside potential by a long shot. And then consider this too. The SEC case artificially suppressed the price action of XRP over most of the last year. Should the SEC be the arbiter of which coins are successful in terms of price action and real-world adoption? Because again, if the argument is XRP's just been disappointing, it's just been disappointing in terms of price action, and we know that the SEC has caused this, and as a result, it should no longer even be in the top 10, would you actually make the argument that it's okay to say, yep, let's throw this one out of the top 10 because of the action that the SEC implemented against Ripple, which impacted global XRP markets? Would you actually make that? Because you got to understand the implications of this. The SEC is going to come after other cryptocurrencies, maybe some that you like, Lark Davis. They may. They very well may. And I don't think you'd like it so much then. Just because you don't like XRP, that's fine. But I just, if that's your perspective, that's fine. You're entitled to it, Lark Davis. But I'd encourage you to rethink this. Like XRP is a force for good, and it's helping some of the poorest people on the planet reduce their expenses as it pertains to remittances. I can't. I have a hard time computing stuff like this. So maybe it's just the case. Maybe he believes this, or maybe he's placating his base. I'm not sure which it is, but I saw this before recording. I was like, I got a few things to say. Really grinds my gears, folks. No, I just see it and I'm just kind of like, I think the idea is a silly idea. So again, I want to reiterate, nothing against him. It doesn't make me not like him. I just think it's a silly idea, and I don't think it should stand. And anytime I see stuff like that, I just have this strong urge to correct it and share my perspective, because I just think he couldn't be more wrong. He just, on the facts, it couldn't be more wrong. All right, now on to something Credible Crypto had to say. Chart analyst Credible Crypto. There's a tweet from him on December 13th last year, 2020. So it's been almost a whole year since he tweeted this out, and he wrote the following. And he shared a couple charts. I'll pull them up in just a second here. But he wrote, first chart was shared in my Discord about 2 weeks ago. This is why the $17,100 Bitcoin price level was so important, and one reason why I have maintained my bullishness throughout. Closing the daily below it would have invalidated this hidden bullish divergence, which is now playing out beautifully. So he shared this chart, and I'll go to the next now. And he shared this chart, which is a Bitcoin USD chart. And so at the time, Bitcoin somewhere around, it looks like $16,000 or so. And so he retweeted that today, though, and here's what he wrote. Check this out. This is relevant. Quoted tweet was from the green circled region. I'll pull up what he's referencing in just a second. Quoted tweet was from the green circled region on this chart back at $16,000. That structure was a running flat, the same structure I have proposed that we are in now. As long as we don't get a weekly close below $43,000, this divergence should play out and kick off our journey to $100,000 plus for Bitcoin. I hope he's right. I would love to see. Who wouldn't love to see that, though? Because the higher Bitcoin goes, the higher our beloved XRP and other altcoins that we hold are going to go. And that's what I'd like to see. And so here's what he's talking about. When that first tweet that I read from December last year, it's where this green circle is on your screen right now, and you can see what happened after that. So he was talking about how it's basically just within this range. He called it running flat in that tweet, right? That's what he said. Yeah, running flat structure, and you can see what happened. He's arguing that we're in the same type of structure right now, almost exactly 1 year later. That's the point that he's making, but he sees potential to the upside. And so, like I've been saying for the last couple of days or so, whether he's right or someone like the blockchain backer is right, and he could be right. A blockchain backer now saying Bitcoin's in a bear market, the top's already in. Even if he's right, they both still think there's going to be an alt season regardless. So, and I do too. Look, you don't have to be a chart analyst to understand historically what has happened. There's never been the completion of a cycle without an alt season, without altcoins just popping off. And I don't see a reason that humans are going to behave differently this time. And so, as far as I'm concerned, the XRP payday is coming. I just don't know when. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Fine, maybe I lose everything. I'm not pretending to know for sure, but I've placed my bet accordingly. I think it's coming, and I think it's going to be substantial. I think it's going to be absolutely gigantic, and it's going to make tweets like this one that I put back on the screen now from Lark Davis. It's going to make this tweet look pretty silly. So it's just because the type of thing here, to think that XRP should be on the top 10 because it's not performed so hot, my gosh, it's like, who says stuff like that? It's people new to crypto. Because what happens? They buy stuff that has been validated by the market, meaning it's already pumped and there's not much of an opportunity left in terms of multiplier effect. Then it's validated. So if it had validated, if the XRP had already pumped, then he wouldn't be saying that, but there would be less opportunity then. Just don't make no damn sense to Moon Lambo. And then there's this, somebody responded to Credible Crypto and wrote, and with that scenario, HBAR still on its way to $3 to $5 and XRP still on its way to $10 to $13 question mark? Credible Crypto responded with one word. Yup. So what's happened lately with all this terrible, scary price action led by Bitcoin with the whole market tanking globally, this has done nothing to change his expectations for HBAR, which is a coin that a lot of XRP holders hold. I'm aware of this. And XRP itself, he still believes you're going to be seeing at least that range, $10 to $13. Now, Credible Crypto actually thinks it's more likely to see $20 to $30 this market cycle, but yes, hell, $10 to $13. You understand, XRP bottomed out this market cycle at about 11 cents. So if it runs to $10 to $13, that's a freaking insane run. Yes, I would absolutely happily take that. 100%. Then there was this from chart analyst DIY Investing, and this one actually surprised me a little bit because up to this point, DIY Investing, off the top of my head anyway, maybe I'm not thinking of somebody, but off the top of my head, I believe he's he might be the only analyst that I've been following that says there is no lengthening cycle. Just every month that I'm following now, even if they think it's just extending a little bit, every analyst outside of him that I've been following had been thinking that's the case, and it looks like he may have changed his mind a little bit, at least on Bitcoin. Check this out. He wrote, if you compare Bitcoin and Ethereum to their last cycles, you come to find Bitcoin is literally the only one that looks to be lengthening. So that right there, I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. Then he wrote that the amount it's lengthened is basically 2 to 4 weeks. Ethereum hasn't lengthened yet. So what do you think plays out from here, boys and girls? And so this is interesting. If Ethereum truly is not lengthening, let's say he's right about that. And I'm not saying anyone is right or is wrong. I just find it fascinating to get the different perspectives from some of these analysts here. But if he's right about Ethereum, well, take a look at this tweet from him too. Someone needs to tell Ethereum the cycles are lengthening because it obviously never got the message. How amazing is it? Exactly 4 years ago today, Ethereum was at the exact same moment of time as we are now. I can't get over how amazing crypto cycles are. And so, if that's true, and if it plays out the same as it did 4 years ago, imminent roller coaster ride, effectively. And what else have we been saying? Well, what have I been highlighting on this channel? A number of individuals, including Credible Crypto, have been talking about the ETH/BTC pair and how ETH is just, despite the pullback, all things considered, performing quite well. Bouncing off a certain support level. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but Credible Crypto pointed that out. And he's like, this is not, he just pointed out, he's like, this is not what you see in a bear market. No. Ethereum would have been tanking the ETH/Bitcoin pair. Wouldn't have been looking how it looked. That's his perspective. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And then there's this from chart analyst Michael Vanderpop. Just a little bit earlier today, this afternoon. Bitcoin following scenario here. Rejected at $51,600. If it wants upwards momentum, it needs to hold above $49,300 to $49,700. Then we might see $53,500. But otherwise, retest at $46,000 seems likely. Will take time. And then he put this out too. Probably the bottom on Bitcoin. And by the way, this is like a couple hours after the previous tweet, something like that. He wrote, probably the bottom on Bitcoin needs time to be built. That's fine. Let it go sideways for a few weeks. Markets need to settle down. Still, I'm assuming December is a massive period to buy. The bull cycle is still active. And so again, all the analysts that I follow, except for the blockchain backer, believe that the entire asset class, including Bitcoin, is in a bull cycle. So we'll see who's right. And so, look, again, I'm not saying who's right and who's wrong. The blockchain backer could certainly end up being correct. It's eerie how correct he has been over the last couple of years or so that he's been running his YouTube channel. He's just consistently correct about all sorts of price action for Bitcoin, XRP, and the broader crypto market. So I'm not going to throw out his idea, definitely not. So I don't know if he's right or not, but I'm listening, and he has his conviction, and he articulates very well where he's coming from. And then there's this from Will Clemente, who is not a technical analyst. He's an on-chain analyst, and he wrote the following. Earlier today, everyone thought we were going to moon. If we sweep the lows, everyone will probably think we're going to dump again. So I just wanted to pause there to point that out because that's in line with the message that I'm always delivering. Whatever is happening in the moment, that creates the feels for the day, and it's just people just feel like it's just gonna keep doing that forever, which is a silly concept, but they do. And then he wrote, still just think we're going to consolidate and carve out a regime of mixed negative funding before eventually going higher. And so on-chain analyst Will Clemente, another analyst that does believe we're still in the bull markets, and we're going to be climbing higher, even if we've got to consolidate for a bit here, which is the prevailing wisdom in this space. It is true, which is why it'll just be that much more impressive if the blockchain backer is right on this particular call. Like it'll be that much more impressive. And if he happens to be wrong, it's like you're right about almost everything else. So whatever, dude. Like it doesn't change how I feel about him or his accuracy or anything. Like he can't be right about everything anyway. But maybe he is. Maybe he is. So we shall see. But look. There's a reason that I personally believe that my XRP payday is indeed coming. And I could not have stronger conviction. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I only invested what I'm willing to lose, but I've been at this for over 4 years, and my position hasn't changed. My investment thesis hasn't changed. The idea that I had as soon as the XRP bubble popped in early 2018, once I saw that it popped and we were clearly in a bear market, I said to myself, okay, I think eventually this thing's going to inflate again. It will be outrageously volatile throughout all the years leading back up to whenever that point will be, but my bet has not changed. It's coming. It's just a matter of time. My bet hasn't changed, period, not despite this recent pullback or any of the other 11 billion pullbacks that I've experienced and lived through over the last 4 years. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say are right. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.